the longer I stay, the more it's like, oh, I want to run out to the market. Can I just leave the baby here?
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
can we go on a bike ride together, Mom? Her and her husband are both bike riders. They're going to be in this huge big race in September, or is it August? I forget. So they've been trying to train for that, but they have to do it, tag team.
Right, and it must be nice to have that break.
I say, we can ride
together. Wow, what a thought.
My
and you said they live in Germany, is that right?
They are in Stuttgart, Germany, yes.
Very cool.
Yes, she married a German man. She's like pretty much German now. She has a great job working for Bosch. They bought a house, they had a baby. She's actually applying for citizenship. She's
wow.
There. That's it. She's left.
I think about stuff like that, and it kind of blows me away. I like to think I'm adventurous, but I think I'm really a homebody, and I'm like, wow, to change your whole country, like permanently.
Well, and then to contrast with that, my brother is also in Germany. He's in a different part of Germany, but he was started with the American Army there. He was in the Army, but he met a German woman and got married, and he ended up staying with her, and they had 2 kids. But so he's been there for 30 years now, and no consideration of changing citizenship. He's still an American citizen, votes in U.S. elections, and even though he's only been back to the States maybe probably less than half a dozen times in 30 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, Jen, you know this.
Maybe 6 to 8 times, I'd say, in 30
Small
years.
number.
My sister hasn't been back to Dallas that many times, and she lives in New York.
Well, yeah, but that's not a different country. I mean, might as well be, I suppose.
Yeah, but I'm saying, though, he went further away, and she hasn't been back that many times.
Oh, okay, I'm catching on now.
Yeah, there you
I had
go.
a long plane ride, too. Yeah, that's it.
But, when I was 21, I did that. I up and moved, and you know better than anybody, I up and moved to Puerto Rico, and I had no idea if I was ever coming back.
Really? How long did you stay there?
About a year.
Yeah, it turns out it wasn't all that long.
Yeah.
But
So wait, let me guess. You did come back.
no, he's still there to this
Yeah,
very
I'm
day.
still there. I'm there right now.
That's right. I mean,
This is CGI here.
Yeah, this.
All right.
He's a hologram.
They restored me to a new server. Did you ever hear that story? You probably haven't heard that. That's a really fun story from 2 or 3 years ago?
Something like that.
Where somebody hacked into my blog.
Which is a weird thing to hack into, frankly.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to hack into. And left a message on and posted a post that I died.
And it was like this real
And then
official sounding
that
thing.
I wasn't going to be posting anymore because I died.
The author of this blog has passed away.
There's all these faux celebrity deaths. I mean, you should just take that as a compliment. I mean, you're up there with...
I guess so.
With Elvis, I guess.
And
Wow.
Because he's not really dead.
Twitter started blowing up with excited tweets and
like, oh my God, Jen, are you okay? Is everything? What's going on? I'm like, what?
But yeah, everybody was just so excited. They were like, oh my God.
I think it was actually Denny that got to me first and was like, is this for real? And I'm like, what is what for real? And yeah, had to clear it up really, really fast. Oh God, no, he's fine. Everything's fine. He's fine.
Nick called
How
me.
long ago was this?
It's 2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years
think.
ago, yeah.
I would have thought I would have been aware because you and I were already, chatting and everything.
It's hard to say. You could have been in Germany.
Maybe
Yeah.
I was in Germany.
Because it wasn't like a months-long thing. It was just, like a couple of days. But we had a web show after that where we kind of played up on it really big time and had some fun with it. It's still up on the site.
We restored me from backup.
Yeah.
Well, that is so convenient.
Didn't we
Isn't it,
have
though?
wasn't it partly like a ghost episode? Like you were dead for part of the episode and then we brought you back? Because I thought there was that whole thing about Jim Split. My brother is the tech producer.
No. What it was...
What was it?
What it was I was being a real ass about a few things, and you decided to have me restored from backup from before you told, because you told me something that I was harping on, and you decided to have me restored to before when you told me that, so I didn't know any.
Sure. Point in time restore.
So I didn't know anything about it.
Boy,
and
am I
I came
so
back
glad I take log backups.
Wow. Wouldn't that be something?
So,
Yeah, right.
Don't get me started on.
Oh,
that.
I know.
We could get serious here, like.
I just read this really amazing book. It's on this kind of on the same lines.
Is it the one that you have a chapter in?
No. I'm trying to remember the name of it because it's this funky name thing. I'll get it in a minute. But it's a murder mystery sci-fi thing where our protagonist wakes up in her vat and comes to realize that she and everybody on the ship had been murdered and then had been, like, it's part of the standard procedure to be recloned if somebody dies. And if someone hits the panic button, then everybody can be recloned. And so from then on, you kind of have to step through. I can almost remember, but yeah, you kind of have to step through and go and find out a little more because their memories don't encompass the murder. They have no idea. And they're on a spaceship, so one of us did it.
When you started that, I was waiting for the description. Oh, it's a murder mystery sci-fi beauty contest.
Ice cream topping.
Yeah, ice cream topping salad. Ooh, how many descriptions is this thing? How many sections is this thing in?
Well, it's kind of like describing Firefly. It's a space western. I like those hybrid things.
I never really liked the western part of it.
Oh, whatever. I love it. They actually they had a cattle drive in space. Anyway.
And they rode in a covered wagon.
With a pretty floral bonnet.
Mel was very pretty.
And he was
that
so
that
pretty.
was pretty, and it was pretty western. So what
great.
can we say?
It was great.
So I've wanted to ask you this for quite some time now.
Can't find it.
No, it's not bad. There's a sequel princess and there's royal sequel and you're sequel queen. Are you guys like in cahoots or something? How did you get sequel queen?
It was just like, it just sort of happened. I never would have done it if I knew it was going to last all these years, and that's how I would sort of become known. I normally don't do things like that. Like, I would never name a consulting company after myself. It just wasn't something that, this self-aggrandizement is something that just always felt really uncomfortable to me. So, but Twitter was a new thing, and I was working on a project with a colleague, and I kept having questions for him, and he was very hard to get a hold of. And when I finally got a hold of him, I got upset because he was so hard to get a hold of, and goes, "Oh, well, you can always reach me on Twitter." And I'd heard about Twitter, but I'd never even thought about using it.
And you were like,
So I actually joined Twitter just to be able to communicate with this one person. And I said, "Oh, I got to come up with like a name." And he actually tossed it out. "Oh, why don't you choose something like Sequel Queen?"
See, I think that's great.
It was just going to be used to talk to him.
Right.
Oh,
I
no.
had no idea what was going to happen. So
I think
it
that's
wasn't my
fantastic.
fault.
No.
Don't blame me.
So, I do want to say, though, that one of the reasons I've wanted to ask you this is because it didn't seem like you. It is a little bit self-aggrandizing, which is fine because you are a pillar in the community.
Well, and
so
I think
don't take that the wrong way.
With handles,
I'm just saying, though,
fun.
it didn't seem like you.
Yeah, it does occasionally make me uncomfortable, but that's what it is, and that's how I'm known. So I'm, it's like not changing a married name when you get divorced, even though you don't like the name, because that's how you're known, and that's how, you don't want to confuse everybody who might be looking for you.
Okay, so what would you have instead?
I didn't even have a chance to think about it. I would try to come up with something cute, and for a while I was making a list of all it was like the punny sequel names.
Right.
The real punny sequel names. There's some of them out there that I just I just adore because they are so clever.
And you could never think of one.
But I never came up with one because I didn't need to. But I would have tried to. It probably would have had sequel in it, but tried to be a little more clever. So I don't know. There was something else I was going to add to that, but so there we are. That was the story, and here I am. So I'm living with it. I'm dealing, the best I can.
Like she was saying, there's it's okay in a handle.
I think
it
is.
It's not like it's not like you're saying something really horrendous with it, right? I mean, you're just sequel queen. I mean, that's honestly how everybody views you anyway.
I know. How about sequel? I am better than you. Sequel, you're not worth my time.
The best SQL Server expert in the world.
That'd be a little bit long. We'd have to like shorten it, a little bit of elite speak and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But make it that the acronym of that or something like that. But I know, because you asked about the other SQL royalty. Yeah, really. There's not too much except for Royal SQL. Sweet Andrea.
She's very sweet.
She's such a doll.
She really wanted to do something with me about this. So at one of the past conferences, she actually brought me a queen gown and a crown.
Oh, wow!
And she wanted her picture taken with me.
Wow.
So she's Royal SQL, I'm SQL Queen, and she wanted a picture of us both looking royal. Wow. So there are some pictures out there. I think, if you went and searched Andrea's feed, you'd probably find them out there somewhere.
Huh.
So that's the only connection there with the other royally people. So
yeah, she's
Is there a king?
I don't think so.
I'll look it up, but I don't think so.
Or a prince? It's all in the female line, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think all the guys are like SQL stud, SQL badass,
and SQL student.
SQL student, yeah, that's a little.
Soldier, don't forget.
Yeah, soldier, yeah.
There is a SQL king. There are two SQL kings.
Really?
One following and one follower, and hasn't tweeted since 2012.
So not really.
And the other one...
he probably got his minions to do all the stuff for him.
I see what you did there.
Neither one of them are active, so...
Yeah, it's always... nobody ever knows which one of us is on midnight.
I know. Sometimes I say like private things to Jen, and then I think, oh my God, maybe I was saying that to Sean.
It's almost always me.
Yeah. It's officially the Midnight DBA brand account, but she runs it. I haven't logged in on that account in so long.
But it could be you.
It could be me, but it almost...
So I won't make like real personal comments.
Right. No TMI type.
I'm not even watching it in my Twitter feed, so...
You're not.
Well, that's what I said. She was in charge of the branding sort of thing in that area.
I can get away with anything I want.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
all right.
yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
I don't even have the password to it anymore, I don't think. I'd have to get it from you.
But I bet you could find it. I bet you could recover it.
The password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3,
That's
4,
not
5.
enough.
Kind of idiot
6.
has
There needs to be more characters.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. It's perfect. Oh, man,
So-
I actually had something a minute ago and now I've forgotten what it was. Oh, okay. If this is too trite, if this is too silly, then fine, we don't have to do it. But you having gone on this big trip brings instantly to mind travel tips, because you are one of the big, world traveler kind of, you consult, you run around the world all over the place. And I've got my set of things, but I don't travel nearly as much as you do, so it's always changing. So what you got for us? Besides, don't put your prettiest sandals in...
Don't travel with data chick.
No? That is not the tip I was expecting. Go on. I love Karen, so I'd be interested in hearing this.
You should just follow her Twitter feed.
Oh,
She has
that.
More stuff happening.
Right.
And every time something seems to be going wrong, it's like, okay, is data chick on this flight?
Pretty much, yeah.
But-
We've talked about this before. Is Sean has that same syndrome, so I do sort of travel with Data Chick.
There you go.
We gotta have Sean travel
And
stories.
I'm one of them, right?
Yeah. So okay, that's number one. Don't travel with someone with bad luck.
I don't know if I have any tips except, I have my own preferences. Like, sometimes I fantasize about having a personal assistant.
Oh my
but I'm
gosh.
just so picky about my
Yeah.
itinerary. Part of it is I live far from the airport. I need to take a ferry boat to get home, so it's very important when I leave, when I arrive, and to have someone else be able to make those decisions for me.
Yeah.
Like, is this itinerary better than that itinerary? Nobody else is going to really know how I feel about that. So, and it is important to me. So I like to book it myself, even though sometimes it's, I spend hours finding an itinerary for like a multi-stop trip to Europe or something. It can take lots and lots and lots of hours. Because
right, but they can do the legwork for you.
Yeah, they can at least narrow stuff down. Yeah, so that's a thing.
That could work. Yeah, when I get that personal assistant, he could just give me this list of here's some possibilities, and I can say, nope, they're all worthless. Go find something else.
Are you kidding? She and I already have a mental image of what her personal assistant looks like. So.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You'll be having wine with dinner.
We're watching this show on Netflix called Episodes, and what I keep noticing, of course it's filled with beautiful people because it's set in Hollywood, and not 100%, but I keep noticing this one character's secretary is a guy, and he is just the prettiest thing you have ever seen in your life without, like, the trying kind of pretty. So it's funny, so we're watching the show, and every single time he comes on, I'm like, oh, hi. He's such a tertiary character. Anyway, just saying, I know how this goes.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about it.
It was important.
In private.
We'll talk about it on the Midnight DBA.
What are you talking about? We're in private now.
Just between us.
I'm going to say my new travel tip.
Okay.
Is be extremely careful of what you eat in airports.
Oh yeah.
I've heard
eat
that.
as little as possible.
Yeah. Well, we largely bring our own food everywhere. Like, when we're traveling, bring enough to get by on, because there's just no guarantee that we can eat anything.
Oh, that you're going to find something.
But yeah, it was that same trip that we met up with you in Poland. Yeah, that he was sick on.
Germany tried to kill me, man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, I just went, on this trip, I was just in Poland again.
Yeah. It wasn't Poland that made it sick, so.
Not in Warsaw. I went to another city in Poland called Wrocław.
Never heard of it, but that's very cool.
But you can't read it because I had to like make sure my mind was empty and I did not imagine what it looked like written because the way you say it isn't anything like it's written.
Like Welsh.
It took me the entire 4 days to learn how to say Wrocław. But it was even worse because when I flew from Stuttgart there, and I changed planes in Munich. I got off the plane in Munich and was looking on the board to see where my gate was for this connecting flight, and there wasn't a flight to Wrocław.
Oh,
and because the German name for it is completely different. It's Breslau. And in fact, I'd actually heard of Breslau before.
I have too.
But I'm seeing Breslau on the board, and it was very confusing, but that was very interesting because, I do like learning new things. So when I got on the plane, I opened up Wikipedia on my phone, and I'm reading all about Breslau and how it became Wrocław, and apparently it's actually not very far from the German border. It's like driving distance, short driving, 2 to 3 hours from Berlin. So. Maybe if I go there again, I'll take a side trip to Berlin. But at the end of the war, when they were, resetting the borders, this had been a German city up through, even before World War II. And then during the war, it was always German, and it was always Breslau. And I remember hearing that about that city in some of my reading.
It's kind of like how Germany is actually Deutschland. And it's like, I'm always interested in that. How on earth?
Well, Germany is the weirdest country because every language has something completely different for its name that doesn't even sound the same.
Lots of countries are like that, I mean, at least with the United States, those are actual real words that people can translate. So in German, it's Vereinigtenstaaten, and it's French, it's whatever the frig the French is.
What, for
America? United States, yeah.
États-Unis.
So they're actually translating words. But then with Germany, that's a proper name, and you would think if they want to call themselves Deutschland, then everybody else would call them like Deutschland or Dutchland or something. But nope, Germany.
That gets confusing with the Dutch, right? Because Holland and the Netherlands is the Dutchland.
And
so
Holland probably doesn't call itself Holland. It's probably something completely different in Hollandish.
So what's the French word for Germany?
Allemand.
Allemand, yeah, completely different. And in Russian, it's like Nemetsky.
I used to.
Nemetsky, I think, is the word for German. So what the country is, I can't remember.
I thought it would have been German ski.
Well, that's where it is in Poland.
Nemetsky. So completely different.
I wonder if it's just our version of
but at the end
that
of
country.
the war, when this city became part of Poland, they basically kicked all. It wasn't just changing the name; they kicked all the Germans out, emptied the city, and then opened it up to Polish refugees. Just said, here's a city, here's a bunch of houses, here's a bunch of buildings, go live there.
First come, first serve.
Exactly. It's like, who got the mansion?
I get the Hill House.
Everybody's just making a mad dash with their suitcases. And
there you go. So, yeah, I wonder, it'd be interesting to read how that actually happened, how they decided who got what houses. But it was like the Wikipedia article I was reading talked about it as like a city with no past, because there was nobody there who had been there even for a generation.
Wow.
It was all like newcomers. So very interesting.
And tours of the place were really boring. And this is the place the Smiths moved into. And over here, we found this fountain. Seems to be of a bird.
It was built
sometime. There's a number on it. We're not sure if that's the year or what.
But nobody knows anything. Exactly. So
that is really cool. What a neat idea. That feels...
It was very interesting to learn about because I had no idea. And apparently it's like one of the biggest cities in Poland now, and it's really thriving, lots of tech going on, and you wouldn't know to ride around or walk around in it, this history that I just told you. It looks like just a thriving metropolis. But interesting past.
There's a touch of history there now.
A little bit.
Now, 50 years.
Wee little bit.
60, 70. I think it's 70 years.
Yeah, that hardly counts as history. Not
since
really.
The end of the war.
A little bit.
That's, that's several generations. So, yeah, there's some history.
So, where is your favorite place to teach?
That was a left turn.
Place to teach.
Germany or Poland? I don't know. No, anywhere.
I always love going to Scandinavia, any of the Scandinavian countries. I'm not sure why, but it just always feels good to go there. And Australia too.
Really?
I've been to 4 different Australian cities to teach. And I really like that. I mean, partially because of the language, we can almost understand each other.
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
A lot of funny words, and they're almost like everything is a diminutive. Everything adds an E at the end. Breakfast is brekkie.
Yeah.
And candies, the little candies that they have in bowls at reception desks and stuff are called lollies.
Right.
I said, well, actually, they're still candy. But,
Yeah.
They are candy. Except we put it with a Y at the end.
It's cuter if it's got
I know
lots of
there's
L's.
other words like that they just sort of diminutize, and it's just sort of cute.
I think they call sandwiches Sammys and stuff like that. Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Scrummy.
But I do like going there. I do like. Australia doesn't have the 1,000-year history like some of the places in Europe that I visited, but it does have its own really special history. So I've always enjoyed going there and doing whatever exploring in the vicinity that I have a chance to do.
I'm gonna answer the question too, just because I can. I so very enjoyed teaching in Wales. Because they were so lovely, and they were so friendly, and they provided pizza and beer. It's the first time I've taught a class with a beer in my hand, and I made such a big deal of it. And then I was talking to Tracy Boggiano at Sequel Saturday Dallas was this weekend, and she was like, "You should come to where is she? South Carolina? You should come and teach with us. Well, we buy beer." And I'm like, I'm there. And she's like, it's the advanced group. And I'm like, I don't really teach advanced classes. I leave that up to other people because no. So you should go.
I'll go.
And I'll get you in contact with Tracy and go and have a beer on my behalf. So Wales was awesome.
This one's for you, Jen.
Thank you. And then my serious favorite other place to teach is Oklahoma. And I swear to God, it is all about how much they love us. They're so nice to us and friendly and welcoming. And anybody who does that, like just as like happy to see us. I'm like, oh, okay.
You know, I'm so
This is
glad you
good.
said that, because I think that's part of the reason that I like going to Scandinavia so much. It just seems that they really like me, and they really want, every time I've gone there, they've been so grateful that I've come, and
Yeah.
so appreciative, and it just seems really welcoming, and that they really like the fact that I came.
Yeah.
So that's always nice.
Very cool. Well, I guess we got to go to Scandinavia.
I guess
We're gonna cut this short. We're going to Scandinavia.
So like,
Okay.
so like Albania and whatnot.
I don't think
No.
so.
Not like Albania. I did go to an Eastern European country once. Maybe I won't mention its name, but it was like Southeast Europe. That was my least favorite place to go to. I'm sure it had nothing to do with the fact that I got a horrible stomach flu while I was there,
That didn't help, though.
but it did not help.
No.
And since we're really not private, I probably won't go into any more details. But
Totally fine.
I do have a least favorite place. So
Absolutely.
We've
Yeah.
got a couple of, and I'm not going to name names either because that's just not nice. But we've been to a couple of places where it was like
A couple sequel sets.
a couple of sequel sets where they really didn't care. And if you watching this, by the way, who have run a sequel set are going, oh my God, was it us? No, it probably wasn't you, because you're watching this and you care.
Yeah, if you're self-aware enough to say, "Oh my God, is it me?"
It's
It
not
wasn't
you.
you.
probably wasn't, right?
Yeah, but yeah, a couple of places where we showed up, we taught, we left, and nobody really noticed. So,
Well, here's
Okay.
a Secret Saturday question.
Yeah.
And I know it could be a little touchy subject here, but
Hmm.
I definitely like the Sequel Saturdays where they take care of the speakers, okay? We're volunteering our time. Some people even are like paying real chunks of money out of their pocket to go there.
Sure.
And so it's nice when we're appreciated. I like to have a speaker room. I
Oh,
like to
God,
have a
yes.
place where I can go and sit and relax and get away from throngs, and it's even much better if there's like coffee in the room.
That's nice, yes.
I've been to places where there's a lot more than coffee in the speaker
Right.
room.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is nice,
I'm talking
absolutely.
beer, I'm talking chocolate.
Sure. I like it when they keep all the supplies that they're going to put out for the rabble
Yes,
in the speaker
Yeah.
room, so then you
Yeah.
get first pick.
Los Angeles did that. It was awesome. Oh my gosh, there were buckets full. Oh, all right. So
Wait,
I
this
love that
chicken?
when they do that.
Yeah,
But-
I'll agree with you.
But then there have been other Sequel Saturdays that, like,
Don't.
usually there is a place that speakers can go and at least do one final run through of their demos or whatever. But I've been to places that's all it was a room, and no amenities at all in the room. Not even no coffee, not even water, no nothing. And a couple of times I've had at least 2 different organizers tell me that the reason is because they don't want to make it too comfortable. They want the speakers to be out interacting.
Oh, no, that's not up to you as an organizer.
Exactly.
You can
and that's what I wanted
encourage.
to bring up is that we're doing a lot already to come and speak just out of the goodness of our hearts, and to say that in addition we have to be this presence and be available. I mean, I don't
No.
mind interacting with the attendees, and certainly after my session I'll talk to people, and when I am out, or I'll go to another session and I will interact with people. But I need my own space.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I can't just be on all the time, and I feel like that's the least the organizers can do for me, is let me have my quiet space.
Absolutely. See, I thought you were going to be on to something like, the gift cards or the speaker gifts and the jackets and stuff like that.
That's
And I was
always nice, but
I was going to be
that's
really
not
ambivalent because I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not remotely.
Yeah. We've gotten a couple really nice gifts that we still use.
Which is a nice surprise when you're like, oh, that's so thoughtful. Thank
But
you.
in general, I think it's a waste. I think they should put the money into something else. We don't need
like
shirts
snacks
and
for the speaker
jackets
rooms, as it turns out.
and we don't. I personally don't need a speaker dinner and all of that. It's a
Yep.
big it's a big expensive machine now, and it just doesn't need to be that big and expensive. Just just treat us well while we're there, like you said, and which is why I'll never go back to that other conference again.
I'll have to remember. We'll talk later. I'll figure out which one you're talking about because there's been a couple.
No, I'll go ahead and say it because I don't mind. I've said it to enough people. It was Powershell Summit.
Oh, that.
We were treated
not
horribly.
people.
No.
That's okay.
No, we were
That's
treated
good.
horribly at Powershell Summit. I mean, just
that was weird.
outright rudely. And I'm like,
It was weird.
And you were speakers.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, he was. It was odd.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah.
No, I mean, I've never been treated rudely. This Polish conference I went to was, I mean, they acted absolutely like they were so happy that I was there. But that was one of the places that mentioned they did have water in the speaker room, but it was very, very crowded and not a place to just hang out. Go check your demos, and then you really didn't want to hang out there for a long time. And they did specifically mention, and it was not the first time, that, oh, well, we want people to be out interacting. But it wasn't a Sequel Saturday, but still, I mean, I've heard it from Sequel Saturday organizers as well.
I think if you're going to take that tack as an organizer, you
need to say it.
You better be paying for the speakers to get there. If not paying a fee, at least paying travel. If you're paying travel, then you can say, okay, look, as part of this deal, we really want you out interacting. And that is the second thing, is you need to say it in advance. That if you're going to expect that of me, I need to know in advance.
Just like the one in Warsaw, this one did pay most of the travel costs.
So at least there's that. See, I was thinking a Sequel Saturday did it, and that is just extra tacky.
Yeah, where everything is
but it's kind of border. If they didn't say beforehand that was a thing, if they were just like, you need to get out of here because I don't actually work for you, so don't do that. Yeah, I agree with you.
So any organizers out there listening, treating the speakers really nice is a really good thing.
And that does vary from person to person, but there's some pretty good standards, like the speaker room and having some amenities in it.
Yeah, and for us anymore, quit with all the nothing but donuts and crap for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, no, that's always been an issue. Yeah, yes, we're serving breakfast. It's donuts. That's not breakfast.
Or the same old crap bagels you get everywhere.
So anybody who's diabetic, vegan, trying to watch their way, they're kind of screwed, yeah. I like how a lot of them are starting to offer like fruit and nuts too.
So even just a little fruit, if they just have a little fruit, at least there's something.
Buy a bunch of bananas. Almost everybody can eat bananas.
I'm good with a couple bananas, and I can go for a while.
But
we've solved it.
So last time we went for 90 minutes.
As you recall.
I'm going to cut it off at a little over 30 minutes now, which is now.
Okay.
Because you're tired.
Because you're tired, and
I'm tired.
And I think it's going to make it more watchable for people.
Last time we didn't know we were going to do this regularly.
Right.
We thought we had to talk about everything we were ever going to talk about.
Because that was our last conversation.
That was it. I would never see you guys again.
Can't send emails or letters either.
Oh, I know you'll see us again because, you'll at least be standing in my kitchen again at some point.
I wish it was soon. I wish it was like now.
That would be great if we lived in Seattle. She'd be all like, Sean, can I come over?
Come on down.
Aren't you guys gonna move here? I thought you were.
It's still on the.
I'll be there. I will just be there.
It's still on the wish list.
Yeah, it's still on the wish list.
All right.
But there's no ETA.
Well, I'm looking forward to it whenever it happens. But now that we've talked about making this a regular thing, we can keep them shorter. Half an hour sounds perfect.
Awesome.
That is cool.
All right. Well,
this is great.
Go get some
we
sleep.
will see you again in a couple, 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whenever we decide to do it again.
Sometime in June.
How about that?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to plug before you go?
Oh, yeah.
What a great question.
It's a great question because she can answer.
I'm glad you asked. I'm doing some online seminars through Brent Ozar's group.
Really? That's you?
I'm one of the people. He's got quite a lineup there.
That's true. That's coming up in June, isn't it?
Coming up in June. It's less than a month away now. I've got 2 different things going on. One is a half-day seminar on one of my favorite topics, because a lot of people are not aware how crucial of a performance issue locking and blocking is.
She's
and
right.
you can solve so many problems just being aware of how SQL Server locks data. So I've got a half-day seminar on locking and blocking coming up on, I believe it's June 14th.
I think you're right.
Check the date.
No, I think you're right. That's the date I had in mind.
All right. And then the following week, I have a full 2 days class on the internals to help you tune your queries. What internals as far as index structures, as far as the way the plan cache is managed, as far as the way your plans need to look, that can help you, and the internals of this, what it really looks like internally, what SQL Server is actually doing with it, what you need to know to write well-performing queries. Brent has other classes on query tuning and index tuning, and so this is like a really good prerequisite, or a really good precursor. I don't want to say prerequisite, because you can do query tuning without it, but a really, really good precursor to understand the internals of what you need to know, and you can really get a good grasp on your query and index tuning. So that is the 20th and 21st of June.
Excellent.
And will lunch be served?
And
it's an online course.
You can bring whatever you like to eat.
Nice.
Because you'll be sitting in your own space watching this.
It doesn't have to be done.
At my website, SQLServerInternals.com/events, you can find the links for both of those seminars to sign up through Brent Ozar.
And I'll see if I can put that link up put that link on the bottom there when I
here it is. It's right. The link is right here.
Yeah, it's right.
There it is.
Here.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
And I'll draw something on your face while you're talking.
Okay, yeah.
Draw some glasses on so we're all matchers.
There
we go.
Funny glasses.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
No, a crown. It's got to be a crown.
For 1 sec.
Oh.
And there's the
there
crown.
You go.
Okay.
I'll come up with something to put on your head.
We're not going to do that.
Or your face or whatever.
We don't do stuff like that. We don't have the drive.
Yeah, that's true. No, but for her, I'll take the thing and squiggle a little crown on there.
That's why an assistant would come in handy. Yes.
This is what I'm saying. See? We need an assistant.
That's right.
One that looks just like that guy on episodes.
Well, we will hook up real soon.
I'll have to go look at that.
Yeah. It only took us 4.5 minutes to say goodbye.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye. Farewell.
Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.